Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this in the morning, 15 minutes to change our lives. Special day of Yud Shvat, and a special Maamer in the Bris Maamer. This Shiur is sponsored by Sara in memory of her grandmother, Sara ben Ezra A. May her neshama have an aliya, and in honor of Yud Shvat, may we be reunited with the Rebbe, our loved ones with Moshiach Now. Amen. Thank you very much for making all this possible. Okay. So, going on this Bris Maamer, we're discussing basically, so we'll just go recap that. We're saying the sort of two types of brisim. There's the bris that a person works on themselves and circumcises the foreskin of their heart, which is the coarseness and the dullness and the things that get us in the way. We talk about this, you could talk about it in terms of basilagani. This is a shtus. Not shtus to klipa, not shtus to kedusha, of course. And then there's and that's the effort that comes back through tshuva, which is returning, which is getting rid of those things that separate us. And we had this whole discussion about that. You can see the previous classes, and then you have a higher level tshuva, which is umar Hashem eslavavcha, that Hashem does it, and this is and these two types of milah are milah mata l'mayla and milah mayla l'mata, meaning one of them is coming from our efforts, and the reward from that gets the higher level. Now, what we said in the Maamer, said that when we do a bris, when a child, a Jewish boy has a bris, he's receiving this higher form. This higher form, the bris is showing this deep-seated internal and essential connection with Hashem. That's way above and beyond everything. We said it's even above Torah. That's why it says, like in the past, we said, and the words mi yalin lanashmaim, who's going to go up to us in heaven to reach it? The Rosh Tevis spells out the word milo, and the Sefer Tevis, the last letters of those words, spells out havayim. We're showing that mil is even higher than havayim, mil is higher than Torah, because Torah is about coming down and bringing stuff down, and mil is reaching way above and beyond. It's like the Yud Gimel, which is third nature's mercy, which is something that brings about atonement for Averis. So the milah is a very high level. That's what we're seeing here. And now we're going to finish it off. So then we started saying, to understand this more, to understand milah is like this bond, the pact the person makes with this. When two people have two friends, they make a bond, they make a pact, they make this a covenant, which is like the Yud Rachmim. They're saying that even when Chas v'Shalom, things, even Baruch Hashem, now everything's going well. But we still want to be so connected that even when we make a pact now, that even if Chas v'Shalom, things don't always work out and we get into disagreements or something that could cause conflict, cause separation, when we're not going to, even though mitzad, as the Rebbe says in my mitzad seichel v'das, it doesn't make sense intellectually, logically, it's not working, we stay together. And we push the fire above and beyond that, because that connection is above that. Like we talked about yesterday, you don't lose your connection with the family just because you're unhappy. Family's family. And even and the truth of the matter is, even when family don't always get along so well, but certain things happen and they come together. Yes, so too with this high level of milah, which is on this level of how good and how abundant is your kindness, Hashem's kindness, which is a very high level. Which is mercy. Which is above intellect and understanding. That's why it's above even havayim. Which is and even and above Torah. Because Torah is something meant to be understood and learned and grasped. And the milah and this connection that we have with Hashem that's being brought out through the milah is above that. Just like the nature's mercy, that and they're above Torah, and that's why this is atonement of sin. And that's Elul is very much like this. And Yom Kippur is it's very high level. And the idea is because by Torah you should be punished. But when you have the third nature's mercy, you're reaching above that level. And like we gave the mashal yesterday of the child misbehaving, the parents are unhappy with them, but when something severe happens, then it brings out a deeper level, and irrelevant of what happened, the parent will give the child a hug and bring him close, and we won't have any separation. That's at these sort of two levels. There's a level of Torah, which is in this context a lower level, and therefore, according to Torah, you do something wrong. And then there's a deeper level, and this is sort of like the level of milah is bringing out that's irrelevant what you do. And on this it says, until we say this, it says until you pass over your nation Havaya. Until your nation pass over Havaya. Meaning to pass over even to the level above Havaya. And in general context, you have to appreciate this. When we talk about the level of Havaya, it's a very high level. In this context, and the term Havaya, it's a level of Hashem. Sometimes synonymous, higher every year, past, present, and future. And in this context, it's more associated with Hashem as He is brought down into the world, like Torah is above, but brought down into the world. And so we're saying that we reach this level of milah above this level of Havaya. And also the Yud Gimel, not just the people, but even the Yud Gimel Rachmim pass over, reach a level above this level of Havaya. This is understood. So this is sort of the parts. This is the parts of the Maamer. So we're saying that in simple terms, we're saying there's two levels of milah. There's a milah that we have to put in the effort, and that doesn't ever go away. We have to put in our efforts, which is below to above, to make us more sensitive to Hashem and less coarse. And the tshuva doesn't mean I did something wrong. It's not only the meaning and the context in this Maamer. We're not talking about the tshuva of doing something wrong as much as the tshuva of being separate. Tshuva is about coming closer back to Hashem. And this is the first level we have to realize that we're distant and we do things that distance ourselves. We have to try to bring ourselves closer. And then there's a higher level, which is like when Moshiach comes, which is way above and beyond, but it's actually done when we do the bris. Because it's coming way above and beyond anything we do. And that's why Dafka specifically get a child that's young, that doesn't know what's going on. Because we're reaching a level, it's the connection that's above understanding. It came from understanding, you'd miss the whole point of bris. People say, do it when you're 13, when you understand what's going on. That misses the whole point. The whole point of the bris is not that this is a logical thing, this makes sense. This is a connection above beyond. Just like the pact that two people make, it's specifically above understanding. It's because at the point where we don't understand and it's all working out and we're having conflict, we're still going to stay connected. And the bris is bringing that point out, that I'm connected to Hashem. We're making every child show that they're connected to Hashem, irrelevant to what happened. Even if he doesn't mistake, he sins, he's a yid. And the bris sort of bringing out that point and not just bringing it out, it's edging that into the flesh of the child for the rest of the child's life. It's like sort of set in stone that they're connected way above and beyond anything. Now we have to go back to the original question: what happened with Avram? Why? And with all this information, we said not to understand why Avram waited to have a bris after, even though he fulfilled the whole Torah, even the Rabbanon, and even all these things that he did fulfill, but bris he waited. So now with all this information, we can understand the answer to that question. So hine. But this will understand Inyan She'avram Kiyam Kol HaTorah Kula actually Nitna all the mitzvahs, even the ones that weren't given specifically, but V'loi Kiyam Mitzvahs Milah, but he didn't fulfill the mitzvah of Milah. So why didn't Avram not fulfill the mitzvah of Milah, even though he fulfilled all the Torah? She'ratz l'hagia l'oisa Milah Gedola Shemilomayla l'mata. But he wanted to reach this higher level of Milah. This high level we're talking about till now, this great level above and beyond, the one that really gets expressed in Mashiach, one that's happened through a bris. That we said happened through a bris. Therefore, fulfilled the whole Torah. Shelamata me'oisa milah, it's below this level of milah. The achakach, meaning sort of that first level of milah, that circumcised the foreskin of his heart, and put in all that effort, he did all the Torah mitzvahs, that all the effort that he could put in from himself to go up, reach up to the highest level. And then he merited to that the high level of milah. Meaning, in Avram's situation, he could have technically done the milah, but the milah that the kid has these days after we're commanded to have the milah is a level above than what he could have achieved before he was commanded to. And he understood that if he does the milah, This is the depth of what we're saying. He understood if he does the milah before he's completed all his avodah, he's never going to reach a higher level. So that's why he waited. Not because he didn't want to do the mitzvah, but because he wanted to reach the mitzvah to the ultimate extreme, where it hits itself perfect. Even though, practically speaking, after the fact, us, when we give our child a bris, we're reaching that level, it's automatically reaching that level. Yeah. Yeah. This is what it's written, Avram. This is what it means that Avram was circumcised. It says that Avram was circumcised. It's not that he circumcised himself, but he was circumcised. Meaning, what does it mean? With everyone else, it says that he circumcised them, but with himself, it says that he was circumcised, like it sort of happened by itself. So what does that mean? It doesn't say that he circumcised himself. Like it says in the beginning, like in regards to Yishmael and the people that he required. Because when Avram got a bris, at that time he gave everyone a bris. Everyone that was around, that all his people that he was among. So by them it says that they gave him a bris. By himself, he says he was circumcised, like it happened by itself. So why? Because that bris was the lower level. Like it says, like it says, you should circumcise the foreskin of your hearts, which is what we said in the beginning of the Maamer. That's the first level. That's the effort that we put in from below. But Avram, he was spending 99 years working on himself. He was going way above him. He was perfecting himself and working on himself as much as he could. So he was zacha. He merited legili b'chinas amal Hashem es levavcha. That he reached the level that Hashem circumcises your hearts, which is the higher level. And this is what Avram was waiting for. Avram wanted to reach the highest level of the mill. And he realized, we're going to do bris milah now, he's not going to get that level. He's not going to reach that. And this is that level, and what's the profundity of it? This is the level that every child gets when he has a bris nowadays. That's why it says that he was circumcised, meaning Hashem did it for him. Everyone else on the low level, so they were sort of doing themselves, even though practically Avram circumcised them. They all had a circumcision, but the Torah is showing us that their circumcision was really on the lower level. By Avram, because he had done all that avodah, so when he circumcised himself, the Torah was hinting to us that really he reaching that higher level circumcision. And this is also what it means. This is what it means on the essence of the day. Why does it say on the essence of the day he was circumcised? What does it have to say this? What does that mean? Perush, meaning the atzmius shel hayoim, in the essence of that day. Meaning, hazeh, hayoim hazeh hu hayoim shekuli aruch. It's referring to the time when Moshiach comes. Shekuli tev, it's always going to be good. And that's he reached his level that it's like Moshiach's times. The atzmius shel hayoim, the essence of the day, hazeh haynu oiza gilui. The same revelation, Haggadah Shiyah Lashed Love. It's going to be when Mashiach comes, Gil B'chinas Rab Tucha, this abundant goodness. V'zeh Shekuli Tov. That's what I mean. That's all good. Ukashem Nizgale Loi B'chinas Ha'etzem Shel Hayoim Hazeh. That when it was revealed to him, that essential level, that level above and beyond, then he had the bris. That's all we're saying is, in regards to Avram, why did he wait? But you want to reach the higher level. The high level bris that we've been talking about. And that high level bris is something that we achieve when we give our child a bris. And this is the profoundity of it. So now when you come to a bris, it's not just we're cutting some skin off a child, and it's very sad. Yeah, I'm sure it's hard when your child gets cut. But here we're realizing the depth of it. It's not we're just cutting a child and then we're doing a mitzvah. Show doing mitzvah, but we're doing something that Avraham Avinu spent 99 years on trying to reach. And here, a kid 8 days old gets to reach that level. Hashem helps us to do this thing that 8 days old, and the kid has a connection that Avram worked his whole life to reach. And this is a beautiful idea. And amidst Hashem, we should realize this. We should appreciate this, and we should also learn this for ourselves. When it comes to the time for our own child's bris, we'll know what's going on, and we'll appreciate it. And yeah, it's the schus that we have that Hashem has given us, that we can give our child a connection to Hashem. That's not stum. We give our child a connection to Hashem that Avram Avinu worked his whole life to reach. And we get to do that so simple, so quick. Everyone should have an amazing day. And yeah, have a great day.